It feels so good to be back again right here on this frequency where we'll bring to you the biggest, the boldest, and the very best of sports news right here. My name is Brownson Uwana, your host, and I must tell you the program today is well loaded for your viewing pleasure. Now, for all Manchester United fans, it's a redemption song for them. Last weekend was something to smile about. And of course, how can I forget Arsenal? 4 out of 4, 100%. So far, the only team in England this season to have done that. Now, it's a goodbye tournament for Serena Williams. Can she grab this? Can she say goodbye to the sport in a grand style? Time will tell. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll serve you all the actions. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now let me bring in my strike partner. Together I'll be giving you the best sports show you see on TV. Olakunle Philip joins me at this time. Thank you for coming on the program today.
Yeah, top of the day to you, Brownson. It's great to be here once again to talk sport. And I think I'm still basking in the euphoria of the fantastic, what else, what other adjective should I use for that superlative performance of Arsenal? You might say, yes, it was at the craving, at the Emirates, Arsenal struggled to win, but then a win is a win at this time. I think that with the way things are going, like you said in the intro, Arsenal seems to be getting their Mojos. And I think that...
four games invincible. Give it to them. They've done well so far, but like we said last week, the league is a tournament. It's a marathon, not 100%, not a 100-meter race. If it was 100 meters, now would have won it maybe last week.
You feel Arsenal wouldn't be able to win it?
I haven't said that.
Wouldn't be able to sustain the...
I haven't said that. Let's wait till December. December divides or separates the men from the boys. By December, we'll know where Arsenal stands. But charity begins at home. Let's talk about the Chan Eagles. The Chan qualifiers didn't go very well. The Ghana and Nigerian jollof battle still continues. Now, Ghana have gotten 2 over us. Now, they slammed us out of the World Cup. And, of course, they have 1 feat in the Chan tournament. It looks like their jollof has more pepper. But the Eagles really have to turn this tie around at home, Kunle. It was a sad one. Seeing that, I think for me, Chan tournament is a testament of your league, and that's exactly what's playing out.
It's a reflection of what we've been talking about in the league. The league has been absolutely nothing to write home about, and it's very obvious. You can't really be confident enough. When I watched the guys, when they were singing the national anthem, they were reciting it, I just felt that these guys, the look on their face shows that they lack the needed confidence. You could see the way the Ghanaians sang their anthem, they recited their anthem, they had more confidence, and that even reflected in the game itself. The Nigerian team, the only department that was functioning, that functioned adequately in that game was the defense. The midfield was terrible. The attack was absolutely nothing to write home about. And the guys was just like, they were playing kick and follow. And when they have the ball, the Ghanaians rush at them, gets the ball from them, and they begin to make incursion. It was difficult to really say, these guys actually, they play football. But then, Brownson, you really have to spare their blushes, because most of the blames, the vituperations, the aspersions should go to the Nigerian Football Federation, led by Amaju Pinnick. Yes, they should get all the blames if eventually the Chan Eagles are not able to qualify for the Chan tournament slated for Algeria, because Brownson, the reason why I said you can't really blame the players is because these guys were assembled in about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks,
to the
before this game. And mind you, the Ghanaian team have been in camp for long. They they traveled to Qatar to play a friendly game. They lost to Qatar by 2-1. And they came back just a few days before that very game. And, they had the confidence. They knew that
there was match fitness.
Yeah, there was match fitness. Unlike Nigerian team, I don't know what the NFF, that's why we are I just wish that the election will come and we have a new person in the ends of affair. The only attention that, the only national team that gets attention from the NFF is the Super Eagles, the main Super Eagles, the Chan Eagles, even the under 20 team, Brownson. I tell you that got to the quarterfinal of the under 20 Women's World Cup did it on their own. It was just the performance from the coach and the
individual
players,
brilliance.
not individual brilliance, the Nigerian spirit that came to fore. In terms of preparation, it was absolutely nothing to write home about. The Ghanaian under-20 team have been in camp for long. It was unfortunate that they got knocked out in the first round, but they had better preparation than the Nigerian under-20 team. Look at what has happened now.
But we talk about preparation time and time again. Now, when Super Eagles played the World Cup knockout stage, the qualifiers against Ghana, we spoke about preparations again, and it was the same thing that made us to get a new coach and all of that. But all this didn't. So would you totally say this is the fault of the NFF? Because it seems to me that they are also trying their best.
If they are trying their best, the Nigerian football will not be at this level. Well, probably yes, they are trying their best, but their best is not good enough to take us to greater height. That is why it's expedient for them to just let go. Thank God, Amaju Pinnick has said he's not going to contest for the third term, and then the election is going to be coming up very soon. And we hope that we'll have someone who understands the round leather game very well. Not the same set because Cheyaki Umi has been a part of this board. Gusau has been the chairman of chairman. Shehu Diko has been the LMC, is the chairman of the LMC. And look at what the league has done right now. So I think the fall and the aspirations should always go to the NFF. If you have adequate preparation and the team does not play well, you can put the blame on the players and probably the coaches. But in the case where the guys prepared for within 10 days, I want them, and they are playing a big game against Ghana, knowing fully well that it was the same Ghanaian, the Black Stars of Ghana, that knocked Nigeria out of the World Cup. Right now, you know we're going to face a very stiff opposition against the Black Galaxies of Ghana, and yet you didn't make enough preparation. And you expect them to go there and do and do a magic.
I understand how it is very difficult to be a coach of Nigeria, and it's also difficult to be at the helms of affairs of Nigeria.
It's very difficult, like you said, Brown.
Now,
it's very difficult to be the coach of Nigeria because most of them, there was a year the Super Falcons were to prosecute a game, and the coach of the team, I don't want to mention her name because that time she told me she didn't want her name mentioned in the media, but I think the media became awash and all of that. And I asked her, I said, why don't you want the media to know that the NFF were owing you 6 months? The NFF were guilty of this and that. She said she's scared that she doesn't want to lose her job. Come on. Probably because of the situation of the country where people are not living, making ends meet is a bit difficult. But, truth has to be said. The NFF under Amaju Pinnick has disappointed us greatly.
All right. One of the ways to get that redemption is at the poll. Let's see the quality that will be voted in the next election. I think sometimes next month. Fingers crossed. We hope that that election will be able to produce the kind of NFF president that we deserve in this country. Now let's move away from that and talk about the fact that the World Cup qualifying basketball for the Tigers hadn't gone down very well. This has to do with the crowd. For me, I think Nigerian sports is in crisis and need urgent attention. Now, the Tigers dominated Africa, Kule, but it looks like in the biggest of all of them, we haven't been able to, put ourselves out there, to show our dominance in Africa. Yeah,
it's a disappointment. About 2 years ago, we were the #1 in Africa. At some point during the World Cup, we actually defeated the United States of America in a friendly game prior to the World Cup. We were in the power ranking by FIBA. We were ranked #5 or thereabout. We were top of one of the best basketball teams in the world. And just in a matter of months, the tide turned, and the Nigerian Basketball Federation, the issues among them, the antipathy between the battle for the leadership between the NBBF began to reflect in the performance of the team. Remember that even the female team qualified for the World Cup, but because of the crisis, the sport ministry, the Nigerian government banned the team, suspended the NBBF for 2 years, and by virtue of that, we got banned by FIBA. And as a result, they were the major personnel to suffer for all of these inadequacies by our leaders. And when they came back, Mali already took our place. Now the D Tigers are suffering, losing two matches out of 3. I think in the last few years, it has never been like this.
No, it also shows that the other countries in Africa are not sleeping; they are also developing their sports.
I don't. Yes, they are developing.
For the fact that Nigeria we are not taking our sports seriously doesn't mean other nations are sleeping.
No. They are also coming up. I think that we've got some quality players. The timing of the friendly, the games does coincide with the times that some of our stars in the NBA they might not be able to come for some of these some of these games because of their club engagement activities and all of that. But for me, I think we still got the best. We've got quality players. It's just a major problem in the Nigerian Basketball Federation.
But do you think we can still qualify?
It's going to be difficult.
Very difficult.
The Ivorians are on the verge of qualifying.
Let's see how well that goes. It's sad, and we hope that we can really get this one right. Now, let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll take you to Europe. Now, UEFA Champions League draws was held last week. I'm not going to talk about Europa and the Conference League for those that plays that league. I'm just going to set out Champions League on today's show. Maybe when I'm pleased next time we'll talk about the other leagues. But of course, kick starts sometimes next week. But let's take a very quick break. We'll be back with more. Don't go away. All right, welcome back. Now, let's take you straight to Europe and give you some top deals happening. I think for Manchester United, happy days are gradually coming. Maybe we'll start seeing the Glazers must go chants turned down a little because, they brought back their wallets and the money is splashing out of it. Now, the biggest player to benefit from this is Antony, who played under Ten Hag in Ajax. Kule, good deal for the young man. He's a winger and he's got a lot of goals also on the scorecard. So I think that missing link that United has been talking about, that problem may have been solved.
Yeah, I think I'm really happy about the deal seeing the light of the day. We'll be talking about the fact that some of these the deals, the manner in which they've been going about, buying how they purchase players has not been the best, but it's really good that they are able to secure the services of Antony. It's going to have a lot of bite. I think I really love the way the players have actually come back after a very horrible start of the league, beating Liverpool, and that actually spurred them on to also get a win against Southampton. Though it wasn't the best of performance from their side, but I think it's the 3 points that really matter. And from the way I said it, Bronson, last week, that Manchester United are going to rejuvenate and they're going to fire on all cylinders. I think that I love what I'm seeing with this addition. I think Manchester United, we can really say that they are beginning to get their mojo back.
All right, that's what it is now. While the midweek game in the Premier League is really something that is very exciting, I'm going to leave the midweek game. Let's talk about some of the games that went down last weekend. For instance, Arsenal, as at last weekend, were 4-4. Fantastic 100% record, the only team in England to have achieved that feat.
Yeah, it's a fantastic record.
Must you do your hand like this?
No. That's when you like some of Arsenal fans will tell you that if the league ends today, though it's impossible, Arsenal will actually be winners of the league since 2004, 2005. Season, but I think it's a great start for Arsenal. Yes, the players are beginning to get there. I had reservations before that game because Fulham, I've watched in the last few games, have been very, very formidable. It's always difficult. They play out a draw with Liverpool in one of the games, and it was difficult. And also looking at the fact that 2 players were missing, Shevchenko was missing, and also Thomas Partey of Arsenal was not also on parade, of Ghana was not also on parade in that game. So I felt that probably Xhaka coming in, Xhaka could be full of controversies at times. It might not be able to fill that vacuum, but they did it well, and we hope that they will continue, they will sustain the momentum.
All right, let's see how well that momentum continues. Now, last week we saw the draws for the UEFA Champions League. It was fantastic to see the teams that made it through after the final round of qualifying games were played last Wednesday. Now, some of the fixtures in Group A, or let's look at the groupings. I mean, if you look at this group, Kule, you must agree that we have some top teams. That's why it's called Champions League. Ajax, Liverpool, and Napoli looks like a very, very strong group.
Very, very strong group. Ajax, Liverpool.
I mean, Rangers.
Rangers are also not pushovers. They got to the final of the Europa League last season. So I think it's going to be very massive. It's going to be very, very tough for the teams. The games, both home and away, matters to any of the teams that so wishes to qualify. I don't know. Yes, the UEFA has their criteria, used to actually make these groups. But when you look at some other groups where smaller teams are, unlike teams that is loaded with so many top teams, you begin to wonder why it happened that way. But then,
I'll tell you why. It's Champions League.
If you want to be the best,
they're all champions. Yes, so that's what it is. They are all champions.
It's going to be very massive. It's going to be massive.
In Group B, now before you go, Kule, quickly, in just 2 seconds, which two teams do you think will come out of these? Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, and Rangers. Which two teams do you think will qualify?
I think it's going to be Liverpool and SSC Napoli. All
right, Liverpool, Napoli, nothing for Ajax. And that's according to Kunle. In Group B, we have Porto, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Leverkusen, and Club Brugge.
Porto, Atletico Madrid. All
right, Porto, Atletico Madrid for Group B. That according to Lakole Philip, just in case it doesn't go that way. All right, in Group C we have Bayern Munich, FC Barcelona, Internacional, that's also known as Inter Milan, and of course we have Victoria Pleasant. I mean, if you look at the top 3 teams in that group, Kule, I mean, it's going to be a real crunchy tie.
It's going to be a very crunchy tie. Apart from the last team you mentioned,
Victoria Pleasant.
Victoria Pleasant, they might just be the whipping team of that group of Bayern Munich, FC Barcelona, Inter Milan, and I think if you're looking at the performances of the teams based on their performance at their various countries, various clubs, you will agree with me that Inter Milan seems to be the only team that are not really, they've not been fine on all cylinders this season. So, but that will still not take away the fact that they've got what it takes to qualify. Talking about the 3, I think that the 2 teams that needs the qualification the most will grab it.
I tell you, Kule, all these teams need the qualification, but which 2 do you think will go through?
I think it's going to be Bayern Munich and FC Barcelona.
All right, Bayern and FC Barca, as far as that group is concerned. Now in Group D, very exciting one indeed. We have Eintracht Frankfurt from Germany. We have Tottenham Hotspur England. We have Sporting Club, that's from Portugal. We also have a club from France, that's Olympique Lyonnais. Very, very fantastic one indeed, but most people want to say that it's a soft group for some of these teams. Now, Kule, Frankfurt are the current champion of Europa League. You have the Tottenham Hotspurs who got into the top 4 in the final day of the season. And of course, Sporting of Portugal, they are regulars in the Champions League.
Okay. All the 4 teams in the group are very, very good. They've got what it takes. Marseille has won the UEFA Champions League in the past. Remember the days of Abedi Ayew Pele, I think in 1992. But when you look at Eintracht Frankfurt, this is the team that's won the Europa League, last season. So it's going to be very difficult to say Eintracht Frankfurt would not be qualifying. But for me, I think Frankfurt and Olympique Marseille, yes, might just be pulling through.
All right, that's a very tricky group. Now, let's be on speed because of time on the show. AC Milan, the current champions of Italy at this point. Chelsea, Salzburg, and of course, GNK Dynamo. Now, for these 2 teams, now maybe I should make my prediction. I think AC Milan and Chelsea should come out of this group. Now, in Group G, we have Manchester City, Sevilla, Borussia Dortmund, and Copenhagen. Kule, this is another tricky group to look out for.
Well, a very tricky group. Manchester City, a very tough team, any day, anytime. Borussia Dortmund also a team that you can also bank on.
But Sevilla,
always
Sevilla is not a pushover.
Yeah, they are not pushovers, but you know, Brazil most of the time, Sevilla from the UEFA Champions League sport moves to the Europa League. Yeah,
that's their fortress.
That's their fortress. So I think it's going to be Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund.
All right, and of course, another prediction for Sevilla to drop to Europa League. That is their natural habitat. But I mean, Sevilla, please take it easy. Real Madrid in Group F will have RB Leipzig as well, Shakhtar Donetsk of Ukraine, and of course Celtic of Scotland makes that one. Now my prediction should be Real Madrid and maybe RB Leipzig to progress, even though Celtic can still have a bragging right in the Europa League. Now Paris Saint-Germain in Group H, Juventus, Benfica, and of course Maccabi Haifa from Israel makes up the final group. And Kule, in my prediction, I think PSG and Juventus should go through. Benfica should drop to Europa League. All right, now for all tennis fans, it's been a very exciting year of tennis. The last Grand Slam of the year has started, and of course there have been talks about the last tournament of Serena Williams. Can she grab this one, Kunle?
It's going to be very difficult because if you look at the event she's participating in, WTA event, she's not been at her best. She's been crashing out, losing to smaller teams, and you know, she's been off form, I must say, in the last, I think since she gave birth, she's not really been at her best. So I think that it's going to be difficult for her to win this one. Probably get past probably get through to the round of 16 might just be her greatest achievement in the US Open.
And again, something suddenly feels like Serena Williams might shock the world, and saying goodbye to tennis with a Grand Slam title.
I think you are saying this out of the love you have for her. You know, on current form, I don't think our body has what it takes to get the job done.
All right. I mean, we've seen players time and time again that have come back from tennis, and maybe she needed a break from tennis. But however, let's see how well the US Open goes. That will determine how far she would go in the tournament. Kule, thank you very much for coming on the program today.
Yeah, always my pleasure to be here.
All right, with that is my final whistle on the program today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Now, special thanks to all those that have been sending us email. We really appreciate it a lot. Now, if you haven't joined our mailing list, what are you waiting for? That's the email right there on your TV screen. We'd like to read from you. Now, you can also follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen right now. You can also go to our YouTube channel. It's Sport Pizza. Don't forget to subscribe. My name is Brownson Uwana. Thank you so much for watching. Let's do this again next week.